Let me stop real quick. I want to make sure this is zoomed out. Alright. So, how's everybody doing on this, I wouldn't say beautiful Sabbath day, but as you see in the skies, they want you to really believe these are contrails. But again, people are going to believe what they want to believe because the experts said. No. Think back 5 or 10 years, folks. 1990s, you seen these planes flying high in the sky, like they say, leaving condensation trails that linger for about a few hours. No. I just had to get this on camera because, every time they do this, and I have to check my sun moon clock, but every time they do this, every time they do this, the moon be out, probably ahead of the sun, or maybe behind. So, if you trying to see the moon out, you can't because the moon is transparent in the daytime, right? That's one of the reasons why. The other reason why is because everybody should know the sun is the one that rules the day, and the moon is the one that rules the night. So when you see the moon out in the daytime, obviously it's not going to be reflecting the sun's light. Okay? So that just blows that scientific theory out the water. The sun gives the moon its light. Well, why doesn't it do that in the daytime? You should be seeing the sun and the moon lit up in the daytime when they're out at the same time, right? But you don't see that because the moon is its own light. It probably gets a 7th part of its light from the sun, and that's on those days when you see a crescent moon. But sometimes they do it when the moon is right next to the sun and it's not lit up, right with the sun. As the book of Enoch says, which no one reads, so they won't even understand what I'm talking about until you go and you look at the book of Enoch and you go to the revolution of the lights, right? And remember, God created it, right? You go to Genesis chapter 1 and it tells you there too. 2 great lights, right? But again, just another chat with you guys on the bike ride. Talk about things that nobody supposed to talk about, especially so-called Christians. But, everybody say they glorify God, but they don't glorify Him creating the earth. You'll run and glorify science for that. Sad. But again, talk about these, chemtrails, contrails, whatever you want to call them, right? Just reminds me of how Bill Gates comes out and says, hey, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm just going to block out the sun, right? Think they ain't been doing that? They've been doing it, right? They just ain't telling you about it. And then here's another thing. I'm going to look into this stuff. I might do a video on it because I feel it's really important that we know what this stuff up here really is. You see this halo around the sun, right? Halo around the sun. Because when they spray up there, right, all it's doing is reflecting that firmament light, and then it'll create a rainbow around the sun, a halo rainbow. Now, how does that work? When you make a rainbow, you need a mirroring, right? You ever put glass in the water and put the glass of water out in the daytime in the sun and set it like on the ground? And then depending on which angle the sun is at, above you, on the side of you or something like that, it'll produce this rainbow, right? It'll produce a rainbow. Just like when you got your sprinklers on and you're outside on a sunny day, right? You can make a miniature rainbow, but it's not going to be like 100% like you would see a big rainbow in the sky. It's not going to be that, you know, that detailed. But there's one going up right there. Tell me, since when do airplanes have to fly that darn high up in the sky? Right? I wonder if anybody can tell me that. But no one can. Because when somebody talks about something that no one will ever look into, you know, it's kind of like what I call people, you know, ostrich with his head in the sand. You know, with ostriches, they get afraid. They put their head in the sand, try and hide themselves, but their whole body, right? Their whole body's still sticking out, right? That's how people are. If you put your head in the sand and you don't see it, you know, then it'll go away. It's not. And I have many, many videos, even dating back 3 years, where I'm filming this stuff. 3 years ago, the skies used to look weird, right? Like plastic wrapped skies. And then everybody riding around, looking around. Look, nobody don't look up, right? No one's looking up. But here's that airplane right here. Since when do they gotta fly that darn high, right? Since when? I mean, where are they going? See, these airplanes, they're not even logged on flightradar.com. It's kind of like they turn their transponders off so they don't get picked up on the radar, right? But the contrails or chemtrails, whatever you want to call them, they pick up on weather satellites. And these nasty things here are gonna later on turn into clouds and, you know, turn our skies from blue to gray. As you see, it's already happening. Here, let me just stop right here so you guys can see exactly what I mean when I say there's a halo around the sun when they do this. How the reflection of the firmament is up there. Now, you tell me, what mirroring source is being used for that? According to God's words and according to science, right? You put water in the glass and it will also create a rainbow effect through the glass onto the ground. I've done it many times. But if no one's gonna go do that, you have no, how can I word this? You have no say if you're not willing to go and do the experiment. Many people won't even do the experiment. They'll go run to somebody else's experiment and claim that it's theirs, right? And sorry guys, I know I was supposed to have this telescope, but some things came up. I had to cancel my order. I had bills to pay and, you know, all that good stuff. So I had to cancel the order, but I am reordering it once I get everything straightened up with EDD and see why they're not sending me my funds like everybody's getting a job right now. But again, it's another thing I want to talk about, how your government really don't care. So EDD has a backlog case of 122,000 cases. Should be easy for them to clean up. They updated their system about 7 or 8 times already, right? You go look at the news, EDD, California, unemployment news, California, unemployment news, delay, unemployment delay in California news. You go and see all this nonsense they're telling people to justify why they're not sending no one their funds. And then you look at the news and you see how many people are getting evicted from their homes. And you tell me, do your government care? But no, you guys will keep voting these people in your office, in your Congress, and in your Senate, and all this stuff. Barely get anything done, but their pockets are lined, right? Their pockets are lined. Every president that comes in office, they end up walking out richer, right? Obama did it. He went in, I don't know how much he was making as a senator when he was a senator, I think in Chicago. But as soon as he became president, he left that office. He went and bought him a $12,000 mansion, a mansion. Okay. You think he said, hey, let me help if he's so-called African-American like everybody think, that guy's a Kenyan-born Muslim. He ain't even Christian, right? So you think that guy will sit there and say, hey, let me go and help all these people that are, homeless or anything like that. In fact, the homeless population grew more when Obama was in. That's when the tent city started springing up. And it got worse with Trump. And it's going to get even worse with Biden. Just you wait. But again, who's going to believe all that, right? It's just nothing but conspiracy talk, right? Of course, our government isn't plotting and planning to go to war with the Most High, the creator of all things, right? They're not going to do that. No, there's a possible way they're doing that, right? For the gullible. Although your Bible says it in Psalms 2. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth take counsel together and set themselves against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us cut their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. But the Most High is sitting up there laughing at them. Just like he's laughing at everybody that believes in these guys. Just like he's laughing at this foolish knowledge of the world, science, right? Not saying that science isn't real. What I'm saying is, if the Creator put the sun, moon, stars in the sky, he put water up there, he gave us this land that we're walking on, he gave us all these trees, and he says it in his word, we see his creation all over the place, then why you still believe liars? It just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't get it. And I'm starting to think that Satan has put many people to sleep, spiritually and mentally. Right? And then you got the half-woke, the lukewarmers, that just say, oh, all I got to do is believe in Jesus or Yehoshua, and I'm good. Well, Yehoshua said everybody's works follow him. He also said you're going to get judged by things that fly out your mouth, right? And he's also going to judge you by the law. So there's a few problems with people's doctrines nowadays. But again, you guys should know where I'm going. This is another ride, another talk. And I'm so sorry about the noise on my live feed yesterday. They were cleaning up. I guess they were getting ready for something. But all in all, I'm going to let this be a short one. Just want you guys to know, happy Shabbat. I might not be doing a live until the 3rd or the 4th when I get my Wi-Fi paid. So try and incorporate something new. This is also an announcement on what I'm gonna be doing coming up soon. Right? I'm gonna start doing lives Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday evening. Friday evening, Monday and Wednesday, I just might do a random live. I want to try and get it to where I could save some of my data on my little Alcatel hotspot. And yeah, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna have Friday Sabbath day teaching, right? Friday night Sabbath day teachings, going into the laws of God, seeing why would anybody throw them out, right? If they're written in your heart, right? Why would you throw them out? If in Hebrews, he says he's going to write his laws in their hearts and in their minds, and they're going to, all this stuff, then Why would you think that it's done away with? Why would he take something away if he's just going to give it right back? But again, that's for you guys to go and do your own studies. That said, shalom.